Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Video Entrepreneurs. This is episode 9. We're hanging out with you guys live to talk with Evan, who's in the hot seat today. He wants to talk about playlists and video descriptions and translations and things like that. All those kind of like little detail stuff that, let's just be honest, as creators is just kind of boring to do sometimes. So we're going to talk about how we as full-time YouTube creators either do or don't utilize those things. And then we're also going to just help Evan think about those things on his channel. And hopefully they'll be helpful for you guys. The whole purpose and goal of this show is to help those of you who are developing your YouTube channels know how to develop better, not only your audience growth, but the business side of your channels and how you're reaching and serving your audience by learning hopefully from the real life issues that we are working through here ourselves as full-time creators. So this is going to be awesome. We are literally looking forward to doing this with you guys. Be sure to tweet me at Tim Schmoyer as we go through this, because we would love to here you go, there's my Twitter. You can tweet me at Tim Schmoyer, and I'll be featuring your tweets here on screen as we go through this. Not answering questions, just showing those of you guys who have good comments, positive feedback, good ideas that relate to the topic here today. We'd love to feature that the best that we can going forward. So first of all, I want to thank this week's sponsor, which is VidIQ. And we've been talking about their Chrome extension here in the past, which is really awesome. A lot of keyword research tool stuff you can do while you're watching other people's videos, while you're uploading your own. And we talked about that. But one of the features that a lot of people don't know about is that with your account for your VidIQ extension also comes a whole suite of tools on their website here at vidiq.com. Now, there's a link in the description of this video where you can click and go check it out. But I'm going to give you, guys, I'm actually showing you my actual stats here behind the scenes. You can see my YouTube overview here. And I like how this overlays it a little bit differently than you get on YouTube. Puts everything in one spot. How your YouTube SEO is doing over time. You can look at suggested versus search versus views and everything, and how those are trending together. But one of the things I like most is that they let you lay over all your social media metrics on top of each other from multiple platforms, and it's called 360 views. So here I can see views and how it overlays with engagement. I can link up my YouTube account, Facebook account, Instagram, video, Vine, Vimeo, and overlay all those on top of each other. So here's a little bit more of what it looks like. As you can see, how Vimeo is overlaying with YouTube. And I don't do a whole lot on Vine, so I'm not super popular there. But you can see how those are doing. Whenever I post, I guess it does semi-decent, so I should probably post there more often. You can also break it down by your engagement across all your platforms. Again, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, overlay all of them together. Perhaps and you can see an overview of some stats here, and all this is customizable, but perhaps one of the things that most people really like is this thing right here, best time to post, because this is not a feature that's available anywhere on YouTube. It shows me when my subscribers are most active right here, and it shows me kind of like a heat map when they're most active and when might be a good time to post based on their activity. Now, there's a lot of other things up here too, and kind of we're not going to get into all these videos, descriptions, Facebook stuff, and then this one's about you can analyze competitors and stuff. But let's look at subscribers, because that kind of does something different. Again, this used to be a part kind of with YouTube when it was connected to Google Plus, but then after Google Plus disconnected, a lot of these features went away. So you can see your subscribers, top channels your subscribers are watching. So I have 17 subscribers that are watching this channel. I have 13 subscribers that are watching this channel. And it's really helpful to see, all right, who might I want to reach out to for a collaboration? Who maybe should I partner with? Whose channel maybe should I start watching and get to know their content, because my audience also finds that valuable. And then here's what time to post here. Again, you do 30 days, you do it over 180 days as well, and you see how it changes up a little bit. Top videos my audience is watching. So a lot of really powerful tools that come along, not just with the VidIQ extension, the Chrome extension, but also available here on their website. Lots of cool stuff. So there's a link in the description below if you want to get it. It's an exclusive offer. Through this link, you get any of their paid plans for free for 30 days just to try it out. or just simply enter in promo code Video Creators TV at checkout to go ahead and get that. And you guys will love it. And I'm sure you'll learn a lot about your audience. It will help you develop a better channel as a result of all the better data that you have about how your stuff is performing. So again, Video Creators TV is the promo code, or link below will give you a 30-day free trial. It's exclusive just for you guys. They don't do free trials for anybody else. So as a Video Creators awesome community member, you get that. So that's awesome. Let's meet our people here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's good to see all of you again.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
So Evan, last time you were in the hot seat, we talked about your book deal that's coming out. And give us a quick update. We talked about how to launch a book to your YouTube audience. Just give us a quick update of where you're at with that.
Yeah, something that I haven't announced on my channel yet, so I guess this is the official drop.
Oh.
I'm going to be, well, first of all, new t-shirt, super happy with it.
That is an amazing t-shirt. I need to get everyone here one of those.
I love it. Yeah, I'm looking at, since the book is not going to launch until December 6th, I'm looking at starting to build my community, form a team. My internal team wants to call it evangelists, because my name is the first 4 letters of evangelist, where they're going to help me promote the YouTube videos and the channel and the projects that I'm working on, and then transition that into the book. And so the comments last time were great in terms of thinking of how to get the audience involved in building that. And we'll see. Everything is still behind the scenes right now, but we're going to be reaching out to some people soon.
Sweet. Awesome. Cool. Well, how can we help you today?
Today, I want to talk about the stuff that I don't spend a lot of time on my YouTube channel, which is the playlists and the descriptions and the translations. And I know it's best practice. And I know when you send a link to somebody, it's supposed to be a link to a video inside a playlist. That increases your watch time. And I know you're supposed to add great descriptions and all that stuff. For me, time is a commodity, and it's, so if I'm spending time doing that, I'm not spending time responding to comments or working on the next video. And my default has been just put everything into the video creation, make it awesome. So the expression here with you guys is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is it worth the effort to put in versus spending time in the community and comments and making quality videos? So any advice you guys have would be awesome.
Cool.
Mr. Schmoyer.
I have opinions, but I hear you guys think also. Do you guys use them?
I was adding captions on all of my videos, English captions, for maybe 6 months. And then it just got to be where it was a lot of work to do that. It would take at least an hour for a 5-minute video for me to get all that set up. So I haven't done that in probably the last 5 or 6 months. And I haven't had a single person ask me what happened to my captions. I don't know. I guess, Clintus, you're right. I think that Tim probably has more insight on this, but I'm not really sure the value of adding those captions, other than it's a nice thing to do. And I did have people like those captions and thank me for putting those on there, but I don't know if they're missed.
Well,
I think the descriptions, I'm sorry, go ahead, Clintus.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Okay, I think the description is really important, because unlike other social media, YouTube is highly searchable. And so if you have like a blog post written in your video description, it really helps if somebody's like searching a long tail keyword, or like searching, how do I make, this, or how do I do that? That's going to come up. It's going to be found within the body of that text in your description. So I think that's absolutely worth it. Words are going to show is as important as a video description personally, but I definitely think it's worth the time. And then if you're doing a blog post, you can copy and paste some of that information to put in your blog if you did a really good job at writing the description. So it's kind of like how you would write your blog post. So you can save work, on other places you're going to post that if you were going to copy the text from that.
So really this is like, is it worth hiring somebody to do? Because I have a team of 6 people now on the YouTube channel. We're doing 3 videos a day, most days. And so is it worth hiring somebody to add descriptions, to add the captions, to add translations, to make the playlist? Can I justify it, right? Can I justify, my time is not going to be spent on that. So can I justify hiring someone to do it? Is it worth it?
The simple answer is yes. So real quick on the captions, I actually do hire someone to do all my captions. Captions Created is the company I use, and local company here in Arizona, ramping up pretty quickly. And basically, the selling point for me, two parts. One, it's the right thing to do because there are people that are hearing impaired and or maybe English isn't their primary language. And with Google Translate now, if you put a rock solid English translation or English transcript, then the translate's going to be much more clean when Google tries to translate it, when someone switches to French or Spanish or whatever. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing is FCC regulations are like the FCC is in talks right now about potentially in the future putting some regulations on the name of the like the act, for hearing impaired, like the FCC rules that the TV has, those particular rules being placed on YouTube. So that's kind of like maybe might happening. So it's kind of future proofing. And then the second thing is that Google does, there's research that shows that Google does pull the metadata from the transcripts. Someone did a test where they didn't put any mention of a word in their title, description, or tags, but they mentioned it multiple times. And then this transcript, obviously showed that word multiple times, and that showed up as a result, a couple pages down. That it just showed that Google was able to pull that data purely from the captions, that it wasn't listed anywhere else. And so I started doing it about 8 months ago. Can I say that I absolutely saw a boost? No, but my channel's weird like that, where I see these crazy spikes and then these drops, and I just feel like it's a smart move all around. And I'm able to outsource that out financially. And so it's kind of, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. There's a lot of tools out there that help you do it. And I would say if you're able to either do it manually yourself or have someone do it within your company, it's definitely a plus, because the Google Auto isn't that great. In fact, the Captions Created company uses that as proof that this is what you're getting. Clearly, he didn't just say that. This is what what it should say, what it should look like if you have it properly done. Regarding descriptions, from what Lindsay was saying, so what you're saying, Evan, is that you are really hyper-focused on the content and making sure that the video is like the best of the best, right? And yet that's where your focus is on. And that's great for your subscribers and for your audience, wherever that video is shared and whatnot. The description, the title, the playlists, all of that stuff is all the YouTube backend and the searchability, discoverability. So it's the new audience members that you don't have yet. The people that are Googling or YouTube searching certain things and finding your video. When you share a video and it's a playlist link, they're now in a playlist of whatever playlist that is, whether it's a topic or it's this month's videos or however that playlist is set up. Then they're potentially being sucked into more videos and having that longer time, watch time, that session time, which then makes that one video that you shared more promotable. And YouTube will start pushing that up in search rankings and suggested videos because that one video drove a longer session time. And that's where that playlist comes into play.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree on a lot of things everyone's already said. I'm ultimately just going to back them up, but playlists have made a huge difference for me because, and maybe I think, Evan, I think you might have some commonalities here where there's so much content coming out, and sometimes it's in one area of the world. For me, it's social media, or sometimes it's motivation, or sometimes it's YouTube specific, where if somebody found me for that reason, which by the way is a big part of the description section for me, that's sending me a lot of traffic, is just the alignment of the description, specifically the first couple of lines of copy that also show up at Google search, headline and tags lining up, that I bring the traffic in. And then if it's about Twitter and they want to know more about Twitter, they go back to my channel ultimately and they see a Twitter track and then they get hooked. So I think playlists have made a huge difference for me, especially one playlist I have in particular. Somebody asked me to create a video about like the beginner's guide to video blogging. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's my entire channel, It's like, so I basically made a video being funny, making fun of that, but it ultimately ended up being sort of like an introductory video of a playlist. And that video alone has like 81,000 views or something, which is high for me. And then they get hooked on the whole playlist because that's what brought someone in, clearly, because people were asking for it. But then I was like, guys, this is kind of a long conversation. So here's a bunch of videos to follow that are really going to help you go through this.
Cool. Nice.
And playlists can help if you have like a channel with varied content, like Amy with her different platforms. Like I do watercolor painting, oil painting, card making, scrapbooking. So that helps organize my vast different genres that I work in under the kind of the arts and crafts umbrella, so that people can find more of what they're looking for. And it does increase watch time. And I think I have like a unique cookie rate of like 3 views per video per session. So when somebody watches, and if you can find that information in your analytics, they typically watch 3 videos or so. So that's pretty good, because otherwise, if they didn't know you had other videos in that genre, they would just watch your one and leave. So playlists are extremely important, and they're so quick to organize that there's no reason not to do it.
Another thing I like to do is I'm constantly changing my playlists on the channel depending on what video I've made that week. So that and also seasonally, you know, if I have, you know, Christmas projects I'm making, or you know, summertime builds, and so I elevate those higher up, because really, I think on your channel page, most people only look at the first few playlists that are listed and probably don't dig down too deep. But I think if you relate it to something that's going on, if somebody finds that video and goes to your channel, then they'll see more of them right away. But I'm always tweaking those playlists. I must have, you know, 30 different playlists that I change out all the time.
And you get value from that? Like, has it a meaningful impact on your channel?
I don't know, to be honest.
Well, that's the challenge, right? Like, so I have tons of playlists, and we have whatever the maximum you can have on your channel as featured playlists. And the top one does really well. The other ones are just okay. Right. And I remember a video a while back on Tim's channel talking about how the search part, and maybe, I don't know if this is still relevant, or maybe I misunderstood it, Tim, but saying that the search components are really important for the first 2 weeks of a video's life. And then afterwards, it's all about what else they were watching. And it felt to me like spending all this time just for the first 2 weeks, like eventually it's gonna get discovered. If I just put the video in, focus on making a quality video, it'll get discovered. It'll get the watch time. I pretty good watch time on the videos. The number one source of my traffic is related videos. So they're watching a video, then they're watching another. They're not doing it through playlists, but at the end of my video, that screen pops up with however many videos, and mine will often dominate those results. So they're watching another one. And it might be because I have so much content that it's just easy for YouTube to refer people on. So I am getting a lot of related video clicks. We're getting about 1,000 subscribers a day to the channel. So I'm like new subscribers. I'm getting new people. Is it worth the investment into playlists and all this other stuff? Is it still just for that 2 week period? In my mind, like for 2 weeks, it's not worth it.
It's 1 week, just so you know. It's 1 week period. So it's even shorter than that.
It's shorter now. Great. Like, is it worth that time for 1 week to put all that work in, and then afterwards the SEO side disappears, and it's just about how long they spend and where they're going afterwards?
I'm not going to say I don't agree with that information, because I don't necessarily know where it came from, but I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. Maybe I just missed that. But I definitely have a video that was flatline for a year. That's the #1 video in SEO for what it is now, and sends me the most amount of traffic. And it's just a tutorial, and it's SEO to, you know, infinity on how to embed a YouTube video into a PowerPoint presentation. And it is sending me buku YouTube search traffic. And it was nothing for an entire year before it became the most popular video and the highest search driver. So I'm not going to say like that's, I just want you to think that potentially that may not be Bible. Like that may not be like the law on SEO, because I've definitely seen a different result on my channel for older videos.
Well, that comes from YouTube Creator Playbook and from YouTube themselves. And what happens is that sometimes other people post videos that are doing really well. Like, let's say I made this happened to me several times where I made a video about, one case, it's like about being debt free, and just sat there, didn't do anything for the longest time. Then Shay Carl becomes debt free. Now, guess whose video is getting tons of traffic from Shay Carl's video? Mine. And so now I'm getting the watch time, and now that video performs much better because there's other related videos, and it's all really about the watch time that comes to it. What would be interesting to hear from you guys is like, what is in order of priorities? I think we can all agree that Evan's priority, number one priority, is spot on. It's make awesome content that's valuable, that hooks viewers, that serves people well. That's obviously number one. It doesn't matter how good your SEO, your metadata, your tags, descriptions, translations are if your content's lame, right? So he's got that. That's obviously number one. And then after that, how would you guys, based on your experience, recommend prioritizing time? Would you say, all right, playlists should be next, descriptions should be next, captions should be next? What would you guys say as far as like how you should use time?
Well, I think descriptions should be done when the video goes out because, obviously that's the trigger for Google's little spiders to go crawling, and that's what's going to pull its metadata. I know, Evan, you crank out a lot of videos, and so whoever's doing that, copy for you, basically the description, and it's the first two lines that really you focus on. The first line, depending on how your structure is, if you have a strict format of all your videos, or if each one's kind of slightly different. First line is the most important. Second line, next important. You only have 3 before the fold, and so typically this is just my format. First line is a description of the video. Second line is the subscribe button, call to action. Third is whatever else I want to promote, whether it's my Twitter or my newsletter or a mailing list, whatever that is, right? So just that's kind of my format. But the first 2 are the most critical for that Google search. And I think the weight has been moved from tags to the title and description. Tags are kind of an indicator, and tags still have a ranking, obviously, because it's Google. But that title and description is going to give the most information, and it's going to at least give Google a direction to put that video in the first X amount of days, X amount of hours, until people start searching, clicking, and then it starts to, find its path. So I think the description should be being done almost in real time as the videos are going up. You can always go back and change that. But if the video is performing very well, you don't want to touch anything. Because if you change anything, it triggers Google to go and do that crawl again, and it might mess up whatever you're running on, the juice you're running on. To Tim's point, a video can sit dormant for months, years, and all of a sudden get picked up because of whatever.
That's still happening in Gangnam Style. Yeah.
Right. And so, but that might be a trigger for you to go back and maybe update it. There's plenty of bulk tools such as VidIQ that will allow you to add annotations and add links and remove stuff to bulk videos. That's where playlists might come into play, where you can pick all the videos in a playlist and update just annotations or links there. But so I would say descriptions are real time. But as far as like what we're talking about, playlists I think would be the most next important thing, because even YouTube's putting a lot of weight on playlists. The analytics now have drop downs and options for videos and videos in a playlist. So they're even actually kind of telling you like playlists are important. Set them up. You can set up series playlists where
those are important.
When you watch one video, the next video in line, like it's almost like it's a playlist, like a music playlist. It's all these are all the videos, and it'll even have an option for auto play, right? So when the viewer's done with its first video, it'll go to the next one automatically. And you have a playlist player, so all the videos are in line. So there's a lot of features that are heavily weighted on the playlist. So I would say playlist would be the definite one that you would want to have. And of course, once you have a dozen set up, then it's just a matter of hitting that checkbox of which drop that video in which playlist. You have something new coming out, you have book tour, you add a new playlist, and now you have another checkbox to add a video to that particular video set up. There's a lot of options there, and we all know that's something that's easily delegated out to an assistant or to someone who's YouTube savvy, or someone who's not. You can totally like teach them pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, so we do have the featured playlist on the channel. If you go to my channel site, you'll see the whatever maximum number you're allowed to have. It's then, is it worth doing more? Is it worth doing, so if I'm doing one on marketing advice as an example, it's not going to be a featured playlist on my channel. Is it still worth the time to go and create a playlist called marketing advice or whatever the SEO term would be, and then find 20 videos to pop in there and then rinse and repeat across tons of topics? Or are you guys only talking about, hey, it's only worth it if we do featured playlists?
No, so here's how you think about playlists. And I haven't done tests on this, but I've heard from people I know and trust in SEO, video SEO world, who have tested this. So I would say number one thing you got to focus on is descriptions of the three. Google's asking for the information, so give it to them. You know, it's going to take you a minute, maybe 90 seconds to type out a sentence or two, maybe even three, that just summarize what the video is about, that pitch it, include some of your keywords in there. But I think for the juice being worth the squeeze, that will give Google way more information of how to best position your video in that first week. And that will then get you potentially more watch time, which will then help it rank better going forward. So you're saying, I'm getting 1,000 subscribers right now. What you don't know is how many subscribers a day you'll be getting if you have been doing this all this time. All right.
Right.
So I would say absolutely that is worth it. After that, I would say playlists, because what playlists do that a lot of people don't consider, they serve two good purposes. One, what Clintus was saying, that definitely use series playlists, where it's going to show you like the autoplay, the next video that starts playing next is the next video in the series playlist. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's simply a checkbox in the playlist settings. So like make this a series playlist. It'll also make the very top of the related videos on the side, the very top one will be coming up next or something like that. It says like the next, it puts your next video in your playlist at the very top and marks it as like, this is the next video you should watch, which is obviously good for session watch time, which is the second most important influencer of how videos rank in search. But a lot of, one mistake people make with playlists though, is like you said, Evan, is that they'll end up putting 20 some videos in a playlist. The goal of a playlist is to increase watch time and session watch time. And if you have 20 videos in there, most people will just see that there's 20 videos and just abandon the playlist, which by the way, last week or 2 weeks ago, YouTube added analytics to that, which you can see the exit rates on your playlist now, the entry rates, and how your videos are influencing session watch time overall. So they just added that. That's a new thing. So keep them short to like maybe 4 to 6, maybe 8 videos, so that it's plausible for someone to sit down and watch the whole playlist. But the other thing that they do is that Google, it seems, I mean, this is what I haven't tested myself, but I've heard from people that I trust who say that Google seems to take the metadata, which is the title and the description of the playlist, and also applies that to how it ranks the videos inside that playlist. So if you have, about, I forget what you said, but like marketing something, then like your title, the tag, description of that video, one thing, but it's also looking at the metadata from the playlist and helping all the videos in there. And I know some channels that say that that's how they consistently get videos to be number one, is just by utilizing the playlist metadata as well. Concerning captions, Clintus's point is really true, but there was actually less about, that would be the last thing, I'm sorry, your prioritization. It's actually less about people who have a hard time hearing, or people who are in a library and don't have headphones, and that type of thing. Like, who really does that? It's actually 80% of the people, and this is research done by a company over in the UK, but 80% of people who use closed captions are actually either English as second language, or it's people who speak English perfectly fine, but they find that they watch the video better and watch it longer. They can follow along better if there's captions. And so the value isn't so much an SEO one from like keywords that are ranking and such. It's more about the additional watch time your video gets because someone is following along with the captions. So the metric to know if the juice is worth the squeeze is on your watch time, not on your view counts. And if you're getting more watch time, then you eventually will start to get more views on there. But the watch time is the one to watch. And as far as translations are concerned, I have been doing that on my evergreen videos, not on all of them, but I add captions and translations to the ones that I think will do well for a while. And I have seen a 12-fold increase from viewership from those countries that I was translating in than I was before. So, and you can see that just by digging through. You can actually see the metrics of your closed captions for each video inside YouTube Analytics. And so that's where I got that. Because before it was like nothing. And then when I added that, it's like up, like it was like very little. Now it's like 12 times higher. So it works. If the juice is worth the squeeze is up to you, but that's the order that I would put it in.
Cool. And so, yeah, I'm thinking if description is number one, would you have guidance for length?
2 to 3 sentences would be sufficient. I mean, after it starts truncating in the snippet text, Google still sees it, but it places less weight on it. So,
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, if you're doing 3 to 3 sentences, then you're good.
Something interesting on captions I found out, and I don't type them in, but Google, auto finds them and whatnot. And on some videos that were not sponsored, I didn't have any sort of, I would mention products or companies, and banner ads would come up shortly after I mentioned them. So that must have been a direct relation to whatever the auto-generated keywords were. So they are definitely aware of what you're saying, because they're sort of serving ads based on what you're saying in your videos. I thought that was very kind of creepy, but interesting too, in the same way.
The research that of people that have said, like, hey, I put purple elephant in my captions and then search for purple elephant, even though I didn't say that, and it ranked. They're doing these. They are absolutely indexed, but they don't influence how high in the search results they go. It just influences. It just gives Google more confidence in the breadth of results. Because there's so much about user intent, not keyword matching. That's like old school SEO. Now it's like, so if you search for music videos, one of your top results is going to be Billboard Top 100, right? And even though the keywords don't match, it's like a user intent, and so that Google can read at a 6th grade level approximately. So if you're giving them captions, they can follow along with what that video is about and know how to position it, maybe not higher, but for a wider breadth of things, because they feel confident, like, of what you're talking about, what the subject is, rather than just like, do the keywords match up. So we can get into all that, but that's the value is in the watch time for captions.
And then quickly, any services you guys use for doing this?
I use 3Play.
Captions created.
I use 3playmedia.com. I don't now. I use Upwork for translations, but to get captions, I use 3Play Media.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your translations and who you use for that. So I'll get that info from you.
I get the English done first.
On Upwork, Tim?
What's that? Yeah, I took all your advice and got some good solid people on Upwork that do translations just on my evergreen videos, not on all of them, but the ones that I feel like have a lot of potential, and I'm going to invest into this one. I get it translated not translated, but transcribed into English first. And then once that's done, then I give them the public captions link, so anyone can caption your videos, and have them do it in other languages.
And worth doing on old videos?
Captions, I would just pick the top ones that you feel like have a lot of potential or already are doing well and add captions to those. That's what I did with some of mine, and it went from about 500,000 to 1.2 million now pretty quickly after that.
Cool.
So YouTube Analytics will give you stats on all this. You just got to dig deep sometimes to find out, like, the captions analytics and playlist analytics and all that stuff. Does that help? Goals for next time?
Make progress on this.
Do some research.
2 more.
That's not a very specific goal, Evan.
I think the translation is probably the easiest. Even the captions are easy, because I'm doing a description. I've got the playlist.
Are you doing the series playlist with like 6 to 8 videos in there?
Only on my main channel, like the featured playlist. All of my series go in there, but I haven't done the smaller ones.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, hopefully that helps you guys who are watching, and Evan too. And we would love to hear from you guys. Continue to tweet me if you'd like. You can also, for those of you who don't know, you can download the audio version of this in iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. And I usually add my own little, stuff in the beginning and the end, just to kind of give you guys some extra value, some thoughts that we can't really squeeze into a half hour here in live streaming. So you can check all that out. The links to the iTunes, the Stitcher, the SoundCloud links are all in the description below. Also, go check out Evan's channel. I know a lot of you guys would really find it valuable. It's at youtube.com/modeling the masters, and it's all geared towards helping you guys as entrepreneurs just be able to grow your businesses and learn what you guys need to do and all that. 3 videos a day, guys, you're going to get way more value there than you could possibly ever imagine. So go check it out. And everyone else here, the links to their channels down there below. Subscribe to their channels and then follow along with what they're doing so that you come here and hang out with us. You can have a better understanding of their questions, their roadblocks, the things we're working on, and you can follow along on their journey doing that. So thanks for hanging out, guys. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. We do videos every week to help you guys grow your YouTube audience and your channel, and just to help you so your message will spread and reach the people who really need to hear what you have to say, so that hopefully their lives are changed as a result. So thanks for hanging out, guys. You guys have been awesome in the chat, and we'll see you guys again next 11:30 a.m. Eastern time next week, and we'll see you guys then. Bye.